Bandits block Zamfara highway, abduct unspecified number of road users. Nigerian Air Force airstrikes killed 28 terrorists in Niger. Labour Party asks KFCC to probe Peter Obi, Aisha Yesufu, and Fenifera over alleged misappropriation of campaign funds. On the foreign scene, Cameroon reports 2 mpox deaths, confirms 6 cases. Hello and welcome to Trust TV's news update. I am Maka Zan. Thank you for joining us. Armed bandits have blocked the ever-busy Gusau-Funtua highway, kidnapping unspecified number of travelers. Yusuf Safi, a commuter who is still stranded around the area, said the bandits stormed the highway in the early hours of Thursday and mounted a roadblock around the Tazame axis of the road. According to him, the bandits in their large numbers with about 50 motorcycles, each carrying 3 persons, abducted an unspecified number of travelers. Another commuter also said that Magazu-Kucheri Road, which is also the road linking Gusau to Funtua, were blocked by bandits this morning. Security operatives are yet to speak on the incident. Now joining us to give us an update on the situation is Trust TV reporter from Zamfara State, Yushau Adamu. Yushau, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us on the news update.
Good afternoon, Maka.
Could you tell us exactly what's happening?
Well, like you have rightly said, the bandits operated along Gusau Funtua road. That very portion where they operated is known for banditry attacks for several years. That is Kucheri. In fact, it has reached to a point where between Sheme and Sabi, some drivers used to call that portion of the road Israel. And this is to tell you the magnitude of attack that is being carried out by bandits around that area. Hardly a week will pass without having or hearing about banditry attack along that road. There was a time I personally witnessed banditry attack on that particular portion. Between me and the bandits, it's less than a kilometer. We saw them when they dragged the passengers. They abducted about 23 of them to the bush. And the next day, that was on Sunday, and the next day, Monday, they resumed to the same portion of the road and opened fire at 4 moving vehicles, killing a driver and abducted all the passengers on board. After like 40 minutes, they resumed and they killed a driver and abducted all his passengers. So this particular portion of the road is very well known to many drivers as far as banditry is concerned. And Kucheri, Sheme to Sabi is just less than 50 kilometers and comprises like 11 villages in between. That is Sheme, Kampanan Mai Lafiya, Unguwar Boka, Yankara, Danwuri, Wanzamai, Kucheri, Unguwar Shida, Magazu, Gidange, and Sabi. But what surprises people is that there are about 5 checkpoints in between. So people are always wondering how this banditry attack is being carried out within this area. Because in Sheme, we have military base there. Kampanan Mai Lafiya, some military were stationed. Ankara, we have super camp of military. Though Kucheri, there is no military there, but Kucheri is the particular portion that is giving headache to many people. Last week when I passed the place, I saw an armored personnel carrier station there. Okay. So I wonder maybe either they left the place or I don't know what happened.
Okay.
To just hear that this morning these bandits have resumed and operated.
Okay.
So people keep on wondering how the operation is being carried out there.
All right, Ishao.
Security along the way.
Ishao.
Yeah.
So yesterday we had you discussing about the 30 million naira levy by bandit kingpin Turuji. Now, I'm wondering, is this in any way connected since the deadline elapsed yesterday?
So, I don't know, maybe this cannot be linked to that issue because Turuji is being operated in Shinkapi axis, and Shinkapi is very far from the area we are talking about, that is Sapi. And what I observed is that these bandits normally came out to the main highway, operate and leave. That is how they operated. They don't stay longer time operating along the road. And for anybody that is conversant with that road, he knows that from left and right, it's just a bush and a rocky area. So they can easily operate and go back to the bush.
Okay. All right. Just before you go, this thing happened this morning. Has there been any information, confirmation from the security operatives about the situation?
No, we haven't heard anything from either police or military.
All right. Thank you so much, Yusha Adamo, for that update on what's happening in the Zugiri axis in Zamfara State.
Thank you.
Still on security matters, the airstrikes by the Nigerian Air Force aircrafts have killed 28 terrorists in the Basa community in Shuru local government area of Niger State. The terrorists were killed on Wednesday, September 11, according to Deputy Director of Information and Public Relations Group, Captain Kabiru Ali, in a statement on Thursday. Ali said the terrorists were engaged after receipt of a request for air support from ground forces. According to Ali, the successful operation underscores the NAF's commitment to protecting the nation and supporting other security agencies in combating banditry, terrorism, insurgency, and all other forms of criminality. He assured that NAFs, that is the Nigerian Air Force, would continue to conduct air operations both independently and in collaboration with surface forces to eliminate all threats to the peace, prosperity, and security of the country. On political matters, the National Working Committee of the Labour Party, led by Julius Aburi, has called on the National Security Advisor and the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to investigate Aisha Yesufu, Pastor Itwa Igadolu, the party's 2023 presidential candidate Peter Obi, and leaders of FNFR for alleged misappropriation of funds from the 2023 presidential campaign. The call was made by the LP's National Publicity Secretary Abayomi Arabambi at a press conference in Abeokuta, Ogun State on Wednesday. Arabambi expressed concern over recent comments by Yesufu, who defended herself against accusations of being involved in the alleged diversion of the 2023 campaign funds. The party has alleged that Yesufu, along with Pastor Igodalu and other accomplices, mismanaged and diverted over 12 billion naira and $15 million in donations intended for the Labour Party's campaign. The Managing Director of Northeast Development Commission, NEDC, has said it has already begun distribution of palliatives to affected flood victims in Borno State. He made this known at a press conference in Maiduguri, the state capital. The Commission said it's reaching out to the 18 senatorial districts of Northeast State impacted by the disaster. The Managing Director of the NEDC, Muhammad Al-Khali, disclosed that the Commission had already begun reconstruction of bridges in Taraba, Yobe, Bauchi, and Adamawa states that were destroyed by flood. He revealed that 200,000 bags of rice, 50,000 cartons of cooking oil, 200,000 blankets, and others will be given to the flood victims.
We're also going to release our 50,000 pieces of for the women, another pieces, 50,000 pieces, so that they can be able to recoup. Children wears, we have about 65,000 pieces. And because it's the rainy season, we're also going to release about 20 pieces of treated mosquito nets. Make these people go back to their own residences across the northeast, either by building or reconstructing or rehabilitating their own old houses. And this can be done in collaboration with all the agencies of the federal government, the state government, so that there could be, all of us should be at least in the same book, not on the same page, which is very difficult. At least we have something to go together, and all of us are going to put as a team to see what can be done to assist these vulnerable people.
The House of Representatives has shifted the date of resumption from its annual recess to Tuesday, September 24, 2024. This was disclosed in a statement by the House spokesperson, Representative Akinrotimi Jr. on Wednesday. According to him, the announcement follows a reshuttling from the original date of September 17, 2024, as communicated to honorable members through an internal memo by the Clerk of the House, Yahaya Danzaria, on Wednesday on the directive of the House leadership. He added that as the 10th Assembly resumes, it will continue to drive its legislative agenda, focusing on impactful reforms aimed at national development and fulfilling its mandate to the Nigerian people. Meanwhile, the Secretary of State Executive Council on Wednesday approved the sum of 119 billion naira supplementary budget for submission to the State House of Assembly. The Council also approved the sum of 17.9 billion naira for the reconstruction of roads in the state. Addressing newsmen shortly after the executive meeting on Wednesday, the Commissioner of Budget and Economic Planning, Balarabi Kadedi, explained that the budget contained inflows from NG Cares, L-Press, Agile, Palliative Fund from LG, Ecological and excess crude oil. He said the proposal would be presented to the State House of Assembly for approval. The State Commissioner of Information, Bello Dabjedi, in his remarks, noted that the projects were part of the promises made by the governor during his local government tour. The University Gombe chapter of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, has embarked on an indefinite strike over the inability of the state government to fulfill the promises in the Memorandum of Action between the parties. The MOA, which was signed in 2021, agreed that the state government will increase the university's funding, earned academic allowances, and adjustment of the 30,000 naira minimum wage, among others. Hassan Kohli has more.
Briefing the newsmen on Wednesday, the chairman, Academic Staff Union of the University's Gombe State University Chapter, Suleiman Jauro, faulted the state government for its inability to fulfill the promise made during the 2021 confrontation with the union. According to the union, the government's negligence has forced it to embark on an internal strike, as it has been approved by the union's National Executive Council. The union said departments were introducing additional fees for the students to cover fund deficits, saying it will not allow the development to continue.
The Congress of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, Gombe State University branch, has been forced to take a painful but avoidable decision today, having secured the permission of the National Executive Council of the Union to proceed on a total, comprehensive, and indefinite strike action with immediate effect. This decision was taken by the branch in order to press home her demands to the university and the government of Gombe State to show serious commitment towards addressing the teaching and learning conditions in the university. Following the signing into law of the 30,000 naira minimum wage, the National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission released a CONWAS 2 table for academic staff in Nigerian universities effective from April 2019. The union presented the table to the university administration for implementation. The university has, however, failed to implement leaving workers in the university with the outdated salary table of 2012.
The union had on April 20, 2024, issued a 2-week ultimatum to the state government to address the said issues. ASUU faulted the state government and the varsity management for not starting and implementing the promotion exercise on time. responding to the recent approval of over 200 million naira by the state government to settle the promotion arrangements of the university lecturers. The chairman said it was just a story and they have not yet received any payment, insisting that the government must honor all promises before they will reopen the university.
So, luckily enough, the media people, you are the ones who have published that story. And for us, we also read it as a story on the pages of newspaper. We are yet to receive anything, and nothing has been paid to our members. And that is why we are demanding that government should settle all these promotion arrears. Promotion arrears has accumulated from 2020 till date. Backlog of EAS have not been paid from 2015-16 session till date. And for us as a union, government is government. So it has accumulated over time. Okay? And one thing I want us to understand all is that these problems, the issues of promotion arrears, EAA, departments being run on the pockets of students are due to shortage of funds. Paucity of fund is what is responsible. And had it mean the government has honored the funding aspect of the Memorandum of Understanding or action that we have signed with them in 2021, by now all these issues would not have arisen.
The union appealed to students as well as their guardians to bear with them in this regard, saying the issues on the ground are important. That is why the union is embarking on strike for the first time since it was created 20 years ago. From Gombe, Hassan Koli reporting for Trust TV.
You're still on to news updates on Trust Television. Still to come. Lagosians lament impact of fuel price on transport business. More stories when we return. Please do stay with us. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. A recap of our top stories. We told you that bandits block Zamfara highway, abduct unspecified number of road users. We also informed you that the Nigerian Air Force airstrikes have killed 28 terrorists in Niger State. To more stories. The Executive Secretary, Kwara Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Board, Abdul Salam Abdul Qadri, on Wednesday announced the commencement of online registration for 2025 intending pilgrims. The board's press secretary, Jumoke Jimo, in a statement in Ilorin, the state capital, said the registration was for those wishing to register through the state. The executive secretary said all intending pilgrims are expected to raise a bank draft of 8.5 million naira after completion of form. Jimo said the executive secretary appealed to all Muslim residents and non-residents of Kwara who wish to perform this year's Hajj through the board to adhere to the directive. The recent hike in fuel prices across the nation has sparked widespread concern among businesses, particularly the transportation sector. Commercial drivers and commuters expressed their deep frustration over the price hike as they call on the government to march words with actions and bring relief to the masses. Victoria Tukulu has a situation report and is presented from our studio.
Nigerians are decrying the impact of the unresolved fuel crisis in the country, which has caused massive inflation, making everyday life difficult. The situation is particularly challenging for those who rely heavily on fuel for their businesses, especially transport business owners who are finding it increasingly difficult to manage the rising costs. Speaking to Trust TV News, commercial drivers aired their concerns about the fuel price hike and its ripple effects on public transportation.
We are buying it 270 before this man entered tinubu and co. What is called Lima. So the thing affected us a lot. We used to carry, how much we carry passenger before, they don't really understand. If we want to carry passenger, let us say, and they don't increase their salary, all those stuff. And there's not what we want to do is we go take you like this and see, we take you since morning. This thing, you don't really move. People don't enter. We call it, we are taking this passenger from first gate to high gate. We are taking it 200 and before normal price. But now we are taking it 300. And if passenger come, they want to enter, they go to say they don't go enter. So we take you since morning.
It does negatively. It used to cost about 4,500 to fill up the tank before now. But after the increment, we spend about 8,000. And the worst part of it is that people's salaries are not increased. So you know, the little money we added because of the increment, people are finding it difficult to pay.
The matter for the fuel, it don't tie everybody. Before, when we dey work, wey fuel dey normal. If we just buy like fuel 17, at least we go carry 50 naira, 100 naira. Everybody dey happy, things dey go well. But as the thing just enter see something, the price affect the keke. So people need to increase their tea fare. And people when they carry, they need to increase the fare because for them to meet up their target. But some people now they pay 5,000 then for a daily job where they carry keke. Now this thing don't come go up to see and buy na wahala.
Nigerians have been bearing the brunt of the current economic downturn, which has seen record inflation across many sectors. Many are calling for urgent action to resolve the economic predicament and restore stability to the petroleum product. Commuters in particular also expressed their deep frustration, lamenting the government's perceived inability to provide succor for citizens.
Found it difficult to feed. Everything is expensive. Transportation, feeding, anything you buy today, if you go back tomorrow, it's not the same price again. Government, no salary, no increment in salary, and we are paying more. Everything is high.
What government did today, in fact, I don't know which word I can use to qualify it. Government doesn't value that as people, that's commoner in Nigerians, because they think only their pockets. How do you go and increase fuel without thinking about the commoner in Nigerians? So the fuel increase is affect total everything in Nigeria. When you talk about education, you increase education, you increase NEPA, you increase everything. Then what are we used to survive?
The current situation in the country demands urgent attention from the government at both federal and state levels to mitigate the effects of the petrol price hike and address the underlying inflation crisis.
In business, the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) says Nigeria's total merchandise trade stood at 13.892 billion naira in the second quarter of 2024. This is according to the NBS Foreign Trading Goods Statistics Report for Quarter 2 2024 released in Abuja on Thursday. The NBS said the figure represented a decrease of 3.76% over the value recorded in Quarter 1 2024 and an increase of 150.39% compared to the value recorded in Quarter 2 of 2023. The report said total exports stood at 19.418 billion naira, accounting for 60.89% of total trade, while total imports stood at 12.473 billion naira. The report said total exports increased by 1.31% compared to the amount recorded in the first quarter of 2024 at 19.17 billion naira. The report, however, said total imports decreased by 10.71% compared to the value recorded in the first quarter of 2024 at 13.970 billion naira. Away from Nigeria, Cameroon has recorded 2 deaths while confirming 6 cases of the Mpox virus in the country. The Health Ministry said Wednesday that there are 40 other suspected cases. The ministry said, however, that the epidemic is not linked to the new, more virulent strain clade 1B. The World Health Organization declared an international emergency over Mpox 4 weeks ago after a surge in cases of the clade 1B strain in DR Congo, which spread to neighboring countries. At the end of last month, Mpox was recorded as present in 14 African countries. Still on the foreign scene, the United Kingdom government has announced its intention to nominate Dapo Akonde, a professor of public international law at the University of Oxford, for election as a judge at the International Court of Justice in 2026. This was disclosed by Joanna Roper, the UK's ambassador to the Netherlands and representatives to the ICJ, who confirmed that Akonde's nomination will take place in 2026. Akonde was previously elected to the United Nations International Law Commission in November of 2021. His nomination was jointly supported by the UK, Nigeria, Japan, Kenya, and Slovenia. And in sports, the Honorable Minister of Sports Development, Senator John Owan Eno, will officially declare the National Youth Games to open on Thursday at the Stephen Keshi Stadium at Asaba, Delta State. In anticipation of the event, Senator John Owan has emphasized the importance of upholding the integrity of the Games by strictly adhering to the age requirement. He reiterated that the National Youth Games are intended for athletes 15 years of age and below, and any attempts at age cheating will not be tolerated. Delta State, renowned for its rich sporting culture, is the host for this year's event, and the stage is set for an exciting celebration of youth talent and sportsmanship. The opening ceremony promises to be a grand spectacle, with several dignitaries and sports stakeholders expected to attend in celebration of the future of Nigerian sports. Still in sports, Nigeria's Junior D Tigers have secured their place in the semi-finals of the FIBA Under-18 Women's Afro Basket, defeating Egypt 66-51 in their quarter-final matchup. The victory marked a sweet revenge for the Nigerian teams, who had suffered a 72-60 loss to Egypt earlier in the tournament. The Junior D Tigers will now face Uganda in the semi-final, seeking another redemption after falling to the Ugandans 80-64 in their final group game. The Nigerian team dominated the first half, outscoring Egypt 24-13 in the first quarter and 13-10 in the second, ending the half 37-23. Although Egypt outscored Nigeria 15-12 in the fourth quarter, their strong finish was insufficient to overcome the deficit they had accumulated in the previous three quarters. And on a sad note, the Owa Obokun of Ijesa land, Oba Gabriel Adekunle Aromolaron, has died after 40 years on the throne. It was reliably gathered on Thursday that the monarch joined his ancestors, but no official confirmation yet. Sources from the palace hinted that the traditional ruler died after a brief illness. The source said traditionalists have commenced the process of carrying out traditional rites for the passage of the monarch. May his soul rest in peace. And with that, we've come to the end of news updates at this time. For more of our news programs and documentaries, do to follow us on our social media platforms and on our YouTube live stream. I am Maka Zan State. Thank you for joining us at this time.